Hi all, Brad Wright from the Single Malt Whisky Club here, as usual with a couple of cracker spirits for our April release. You may notice I said spirits and not whiskies because this month we have something just a little different for our Members Extra. Our malt of the month is a single cask release for New Zealand distillery Thomson's, and our Members Extra, a brandy. The very first brandy we've ever offered in our 20 years of running the club. Now, you may remember back in 23 that we released the celebrated Thomson Manuka Smoke Whisky into Australia. To say we got some positive feedback is an understatement. In fact, we got so much excellent feedback that we thought we should try another of their expressions, this one a single cask exclusive to the club. Now, Matt Thomson, owner and distiller at Thomson, believes that the tried and true formula of whiskey matured in ex-bourbon casks is the very best way to evaluate the skill of the distiller, as there's very little to hide behind. There's no smoke to smooth out roughness or patch over deficiencies in the distiller's craft. There's no massive fruity influences from dripping fortified casks there. So accordingly, when we were planning the release, Matt steered me towards a single ex-Jim Beam cask that he felt showcases his own talents perfectly. And here it is. The Thomson 94, which is the cask number. Fully matured for 5 years in an ex-Jim Beam cask, bottled at 46% and exclusive to the Single Malt Whisky Club. So let's have a taste of it, shall we? On the nose, yep, classic ex-bourbon matured nose there. Lovely sort of fruity notes, sweet fairy floss, vanilla in spades, jasmine-y floral notes to boot. It's beautiful. It's on the palate. Lovely viscous mouthfeel with just a little pepper there. And waves of Granny Smith apple, blind baked short crust pastry ready to fill, with sweet sort of candied peel skirting around the edges there. Excuse me. It's a bit hot here today. Finish. Nice medium finish with a seesaw, a pepper, then fruit and back again. Re-emergence of floral notes as it fades. Yum, this is a lovely, decadent, sweet whiskey. It's eminently explorable over a dram or three. It's a sublime, well-integrated spirit with more than enough layers of flavour to keep any whiskey lover coming back to explore further. Yum. Now, onto our Members Extra, and for the first time we're featuring a brandy. This is the Noble Stranger brandy from Bass and Flinders distillery down on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula. Why a brandy, you may ask? Well, a couple of reasons. Firstly, we've had a couple of members comment on this actual product, positively of course, and also a few more mention that they occasionally indulge in a brandy when they're feeling like a bit of a malternative for the evening. Secondly, the distiller and owner of Bass and Flinders, Holly Clintworth, is also the president of the Australian Distillers Association, or the ADA, who have just had their annual conference on the Gold Coast. So we thought it might be a good idea to let members know a bit about the ADA and what it does for us drinkers. So go to the website and have a read about that on the write-up for this. By the way, we'll be running a live stream interview with Holly in the next couple of weeks to discuss the ADA, Bass and Flinders, and of course the Noble Stranger brandy. Date to be determined, but keep your eyes on our Facebook page and website for details. So, brandy. For the complete beginner, brandy comes from the Dutch word brandewijn, and I know I've probably just made a hatchet job of that pronunciation. Apologies to my Dutch friends. And that means burnt wine. Brandy is a type of liquor made from fermented fruit juice, typically fermented grape juice, but it can also be made from apples, apricots, cherries, even peaches. Bass and Flinders use 100% Chardonnay wash and they work hand in hand with their winemakers to ensure the base product is perfect for distillation. It's not just about distilling your Chardonnay table wines. There's a bit more to it than that. The Noble Stranger, as I said, made from 100% Chardonnay grape wash. It's made from a blend of barrels between 2 and 6 years old to maintain a consistent product, as this is one of Bass & Flinders' core products, and bottled at 40% ABV. So let's have a taste. It's the closest thing I've got to a brandy balloon. Anywho. On the nose, there's a lovely herbaceousness with big floral aromas. Some vanilla as well. The big difference for me between this and whiskey is the lack of the malty, earthy notes, while the lighter notes seem to sort of dominate here. The palate... It's a deliciously creamy mouthfeel, a huge kapow of fruity notes. There's big biscuit spice flavour here too, yet without the sort of biscuity notes that we're used to accompanying those flavours in a single malt. So the finish, there's no surprises. Just a long, pleasant fade out with those big fruity notes rolling around vanilla pods and spring flowers in the morning, I guess. So for me, brandy sits on my palate somewhere between spirit and liqueur. Even though this has no added sugar, or anything for that matter, the mouthfeel and sweetness is sort of similar to a dosed liqueur. The lack of biscuity notes compared to single malt whiskey is also interesting, I guess, and allows a closer investigation of those sort of topside floral and herbaceous characteristics that I myself do love. Definitely worth sitting over a dram or three, if only for educational purposes, of course. So that's it for April. Lovely all black whiskey, ex-bourbon cask from Thomson's, the 94, and the Noble Stranger brandy from Bass & Flinders Distillery. Get one, get both. You know me, I'm getting both. I'm Brad Wright from the Single Malt Whisky Club, and until next month, kia ora.